All right, for the book club this week, it's my turn, and I chose Aliens Dead Orbit. This is written and drawn by James Stokoe, who wrote my favorite Godzilla book, Future Book Club.
The best Godzilla book.
Probably the best Godzilla book.
Yeah, probably.
No.
No. I won't say probably. It is.
Yes.
This book was awesome.
Yes.
Yes, it was. I was very.
Ben, you did not get a chance to read it.
Sadly.
It's okay, buddy.
No,
We all have those
I
weeks.
honest to God feel bad because I kept telling myself I gotta find time to. I gotta read the book club. I gotta read the book club, and then it just all went to shit.
Hey man, it happens.
So my favorite. So when I was working at the store and this book came out, I would always tell people like one of the best things I've ever seen is just this two-pager where it's this guy's walking along the hallways of this dead space station.
Yep.
And he looks around the hallway and he sees what looks like a xenomorph.
Yep.
And then he looks closer and it's just machinery.
Yeah, and he starts laughing because he's going crazy.
He's like, oh god.
And there's no dialogue, and that was the pages that you're like, oh, this feels like Alien.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's like the paranoia is hitting him.
Yes.
It's silly, and
So it's-
he feels silly, but of course,
It's two narratives. It's him.
It's the past and the future.
It's the past and the future. It's him going on the space station and trying to like. Well, we don't know what he's doing yet, but we found out later he's going to blow up the airlock and bolt
Yep.
out of there. The space station has been overrun by two xenomorphs who killed all his crew. We find out in the flashbacks, and the flashbacks were really compelling stuff.
Yeah.
I felt like the characters were really cool,
Like the ship, like they find like an abandoned
like a derelict junker ship.
it's great because it hits all the things you want, does them a little differently.
Yes.
It's got the horror that you want. It's got the paranoia that you want. And it since it's that mystery, since that two storylines,
Yeah.
it kind of it's a great time release.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on, but you can feel like that scene you just said, where he sees something and it scares him. He thinks it's a xenomorph, but it's really just a piece of machinery.
Yeah.
That's before anything happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you, as the reader, you're like, "Whoa, something happened that really messed this guy up
Yeah.
already." But
Yeah.
they don't. Yeah, it's a perfect. It's great. I
When
love
they
it.
go on the junker ship, they try to wake up these three
Oh,
survivors.
dude, those three survivors that are
Horrifying.
burnt.
Horrifying.
Disgustingly cool.
The
like, man.
the cryotubes break and they get flooded with like this hot, like boiling hot
They
water. or
burned all
whatever
their
it
skin
is.
off, so they're just all muscly people.
And I find out
They're
two of
disturbing.
them, the twins, had xenomorphs inside of them, and some of the best like chest burster
Finally,
sequences I've seen.
Yeah, the artist is just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
And it's like 2 issues before I think before we see the chest burster, but like we see
Which is how it should be.
Yeah. So we see like this bit where we're looking in his chest cavity and we see the xenomorph looking out
egg.
from
Peeking
inside.
out.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
When they do like the full page spread and you see his ribs,
Yeah.
I could hear his ribs
Yeah.
cracking.
Yeah, I also like the two little xenomorphs talking to each other.
Yeah, they're hanging out. Like, hey, what's
did
up?
it.
We woke up. The third survivor like wakes up and takes one of them captive, and he's like, oh,
Where's my crew?
Where crew?
Because
Where crew?
she has no lips.
She has
Yeah.
the lips,
Yeah.
She's been burned
Where
off.
crew?
And then like, oh yeah, like shit's going down, and she realizes like, oh, there's no hope, and slits the throat of one of the one of
Yeah.
the crew. And I'm like, oh, we're going here too. Okay,
One
yeah.
of the flashbacks
Yeah.
starts with the captain being taken.
Yes.
And I thought that was really cool because we see the xenomorphs run away, and then the next time we see them in the
They're grown
flashback,
up.
the captain was like taken by one.
And they grow up
There's-
real fast.
There's gaps, and it's like a kind of it's not really an unreliable narrator, but the way it's like flashbacks from this character,
Yeah.
from his point of view always, it's great because then it doesn't explain too much. It lets you fill in the gaps, and
Yeah.
that's what makes it even more horrifying.
And you've seen Alien at this. Like, if you're reading this, you've probably seen Alien.
got it.
So
Like,
you
yeah,
know
like,
what's going on.
Yeah.
I also really like that he chooses the design of James Cameron's Aliens instead of the classic Alien design with the smooth head.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he uses more like the rigid head, like
The Klingon alien.
Yeah.
Also, I don't remember. Is there any? This is interesting. Any acid blood in this?
Yes.
Yes. At the
Yeah.
end when we really only see it at the end when apparently a xenomorph doesn't need to breathe.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
it. Actually is super important. Now I remember that.
Yeah.
And
I
he
really
uses
enjoyed
the
that.
acid blood to ignite a fuel tank so that the xenomorph is
I
destroyed.
really like the one-armed xenomorph too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it looks
cool.
cool.
Fun and interesting, and again, things we've never seen.
Like I think when they go to the derelict ship, like there's like something burned right through the hull, and like I don't know what the hell could do that.
Yeah, it was like
it's-
slashed through.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, what could melt through the hole
We
like
usually
this?
see that's why I really liked this because it hit all the notes, but it was different because usually it's soldier shoots him and then it hits him in the face and he's like blah
Yeah.
and then he dies too. But this used the acid blood in a very interesting and kind of way that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
different. You know,
They use it against the aliens. It's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah.
There's
The
so
alien, the perfect species that is always killed by one human
Yeah, right?
in every movie.
Yeah, also just like it's a flashback also because when you see it and when you're in the future of the present, you see the ship has like pieces flying off of it.
Yeah.
And then when it's in the past, it's clean.
It's like perfect and clean. Yeah, little context clues. They used the comic, I don't know.
Medium?
Yes, I was going to say motif. The comic medium properly.
Yeah.
In every way. In every way.
Yeah, and also really, people don't just die by the xenomorphs. Like
No, they don't.
yeah,
Yeah.
like one guy gets his throat slashed by one of the girls. The captain, he might be dead, but we don't know what happens to him when he's taken. Well, the next time we see him, he's just in one of those little cocoons.
Yeah.
That we see that the aliens make.
I love the drunk guy.
The drunk guy
He's just
like,
going crazy.
He just went crazy,
Yeah.
and
Of course.
and he's just laughing. He's like, "Hey, come and get me!" And they're
Yeah.
like around it. What I really like is you see like the shadow, like you see the
shadow's
xenomorphs
encroaching
come
on him.
out
Yeah.
of the shadow, and it's really
Yeah,
effective
James Stokoe's
stuff.
art. It's like it's super. It's definitely one
I
of a
just turned
kind.
right to it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of a kind where like it's his art as soon as you see it because it's got like a manga kind of like gritty kind of style to it. But like his characters are like very interesting looking, but not like in a bad way. Like you know it's his stuff.
The last issue where we're jumping between the past and the present, where we're seeing he's trying to escape the ship, and we see what his plan is in the past. Like
Yeah.
you fill in the blanks that
Piecing it together.
We know his plan because he's telling it to people in the past.
Yeah.
So we know what he's doing in the present. I really think that's really cool. And we see like the girl. There's a girl character. We see kind of her death scene play out.
Parks,
Yeah. While he's also trying to escape a xenomorph.
It's he never has the upper hand.
No,
No.
he doesn't.
Ever.
He's always on the
running.
run.
He's always running, which I really, really like.
Yeah.
And what I like about it is because I like things with like terrible endings, like sad endings. Like he's gonna die at the end. His
Yeah.
oxygen's running out.
At
He's
the
just
end, so it starts with like he set a timer, and we see the timer's setting.
Yeah.
And then we see that same timer kind of come back around.
it's throughout the entire trade. Like there's always
Yeah.
a timer going on.
But this time it's his oxygen is running out.
And it's just the final page is just him in the ship in complete darkness, and the timer's just going
Smoking.
down.
He's smoking
Smoking.
cigarettes.
Yep. It's real tragic, but it's like that's like a perfect little encapsulated Alien story. It's like if you've never seen Alien, this is like a good movie.
Did you see
comic?
the cover gallery?
Yeah, I flipped through it.
So good.
It's so good. I love his covers so much.
Yeah, dude.
And then the back of the trade that's released by Dark Horse, you see his original pitch.
I didn't see this until just now. It's awesome.
Which I also want. I don't
Yeah.
want to say
Yeah.
it sounds almost better than this story, but it looks so good.
It was initially supposed to be a little bit more like Aliens, where it was going to be
More actiony.
The UNSC are not that's Halo.
Oh.
the Marines, the Weyland-Yutani
Yeah.
people, like Marines, are fighting like a wave of aliens on a labyrinthian spaceship. So it was less claustrophobic, more bombastic, like aliens.
Yeah.
And I kind of would have liked. I hope he does like another one.
When did this come out? Last year?
I want to say 2 years ago.
Because Gabriel Hardman is currently doing an Aliens book too, and I only got the first issue, but it's very good, and he writes and draws it, and it's kind of like in the same vein as Dead Orbit.
It's very similar. I think what Dark Horse kind of ended up doing after the Alien vs Predator crossovers with Prometheus and Alien and Predator
Yeah.
to kind of try and make that screwed up continuity make sense.
Oh, Lord.
Which they should never have done.
Yeah.
They kind of went back and did like, why don't we do a little bit more Alien? Because they only had the license for Aliens.
Yes.
Much like
Aliens, not Alien.
right. So
Weird.
it's much like Dynamite has Evil Dead.
Okay.
But no, Dynamite has Dark Horse, but Space Goat has Evil Dead. Oh, sorry, Army of Darkness.
Army of Darkness. Okay, yeah. I was like, wait, what?
Army of Darkness is owned by Dynamite,
Yes.
and then Evil Dead has so it's the same franchise, but because Dark Horse had Serenity, but they didn't have Firefly.
Weird stuff, dude.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So it's very strange how the name could change where the licensing comes from. So Dark Horse has Aliens, but they don't
Okay.
have Alien, but they can do a story like Alien, and that's
Yeah.
and that Gabriel Hardman.
You just have to
story-
add the S at the end. That's all.
Yeah, the Gabriel Hardman is doing a story much like Alien. This is very much like Alien.
Yeah.
I think it's very effective. Like they doing one-off horror kind of minis.
And this was only 4 issues, so it's a nice quick read. It's a great read, and I'm glad I read this book. It was great.
Yeah, fantastic. It was a great
Yeah.
read.
Yeah,
Anything
I-
by James Stokoe, I'm on board for.
Yeah, he did he did some art for Moon Knight,
Yep.
which was a lot of fun. He did like Space Moon Knight.
Yeah, it's weird good stuff.
But yeah, like I've said before, I was introduced to him from Godzilla: Half Century War.
That book is so freaking good.
And he did an issue of Godzilla in Hell, which I have in a treasury size, and it's awesome.
Godzilla in hell. Does he meet Satan?
Godzilla goes to hell.
Does he meet
Naturally.
Satan?
No, I don't think. No, he goes through. It's Dante's Inferno, but Godzilla.
So what Wrath? What is he?
What's
what is
Lust?
he doing? Yeah, what is he doing?
It's
So-
like Gamera is like
Yeah.
super sexy.
So he falls down in hell, and
stumbles.
he looks up.
Someone left the door to hell open,
Something like that.
and
And
Godzilla just tripped. And,
Oops.
yeah.
He's like falling, and it's like Godzilla in hell, and he falls into. He falls down, and he like gets up, and he looks at his like, what's the thing that's supposed to be written in the gates of hell?
I don't know.
Where
I haven't been there in a while.
Enter
Oh,
here,
yeah.
something like that. And he sees like
Oh, I've never been there.
he like reads it, and he just destroys it with his atomic breath.
Jeez.
Are
And
there
it's just
demons?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He's attacked by like an evil Godzilla demon. And he's like walking and like I don't know where I am. It's all silent. It's a completely silent issue. It's all James Stokoe's art and
That's great.
And he wrote
That's
it.
so weird.
That's great.
And he like fights another Godzilla and he destroys it. And then the next issue is each issue is written and drawn by a different person.
Okay.
So it's kind of anthology, but it's going through the five levels of hell.
I love it.
I want to know what Lust is real bad.
Yeah, it was a really interesting book. I actually might have it.
Just like
Maybe.
him looking at Tokyo. He's
Like,
"Ugh,
I wanna destroy you
that
so
so bad.
I do
God.
not have Godzilla in hell.
It's just him constantly getting closer to Tokyo, but it's just getting pushed farther away.
He's like, I'm gonna wreck that.
Yeah, it's the second issue is my second favorite because so there's a guy who does like Godzilla artwork, but it's just covers. He's only ever done Godzilla covers, and so he decided to do like interiors, and it's beautiful painted.
Sounds like Alex Ross.
Kind of
he's
like
a cover
Alex
guy.
Ross.
Yeah.
Kind of Alex Ross-esque painted covers. It's a beautiful issue, but James Stokoe's was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
So anything else you guys want to add on this one?
No, man, it's a great read.
Definitely. I mean, if we haven't spoiled it already, definitely pick it up.
I still think you can like.
You can zip through it. It's so
It's pretty fast.
atmospheric. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. But you can.
Yeah.
No,
No,
I like it because you can zip through it.
Well, I mean, it's an aliens book, so I had a feeling that the ending was not going to be like all happily ever after. That was like shit was going to go down.
Alien ends happily ever
Until
after.
Alien 3.
Yeah, until Alien 3 starts.
Alien and Aliens both have happy endings.
They
And then
mostly
Alien
come at
3 Aliens retcons the ending of Alien.
Yes.
And Alien has the best ending too.
Yeah.
When you realize it's in the ship.
Yeah.
And it doesn't move.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just reminds me of like I don't know. When I was a kid, there was a bat, like on the outside of a doorway in a curtain.
This is when he became Batman.
This is when I became Batman. I was like, I need something to avenge my parents who are alive. But like, I
How
remember-
dare they be
I remember
alive?
just closing it and seeing it, and you're like, oh, and okay, I gotta take. It didn't move.
Yeah.
And it didn't know, but it was there, and I remember like, oh, now we gotta deal with this. But same
Yeah.
thing in that movie where it just kind of flinches.
Yeah.
But it doesn't attack, and you're
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
that's
man.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Because you know it's. Oh God, I love it. I love it.
And like we were talking about when we talked about the Predator franchise last week, the practicality of the suit in Alien was always so effective.
Yeah.
Like once they CGI'd him in an Alien vs Predator, a movie I find enjoyable.
Yeah.
But the CGI aliens never worked for me. It's always the long, lanky
Yeah.
in a suit.
Well,
kind
for
of.
me, like Alien, like before it became like an action franchise, basically. Like
Yeah.
Alien is a horror movie, and like you don't see the monster a lot. That's what makes it effective.
it was
Funny thing is, Alien is one of my favorite horror films.
It's a good one.
I really like Alien.
Alien is
Okay.
really, Aliens is really good.
I like
though.
Aliens just as much, but it's a very different type
Well,
of
that's
movie.
an action movie, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like I think Alien actually did I think the next two the Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection were missteps, but I think the idea was, well, each movie in the franchise is a different genre.
Yeah.
I actually think that's kind of an interesting way to go about it.
Yeah, but I almost want to slide into like a anthology show like True Detective or like American Horror Story. Where
Yeah.
it's just like another season,
Yeah.
completely different people.
Now we got a dog alien.
But we're kind of gonna deal with
Yeah.
this comic book where they don't show the eggs.
Yep.
Because we already all know.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
know this stuff.
But it's still haunting because we have to remember it because we were there. It's almost like these comic books give us PTSD from the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
And you feel that, and it's great.
No, I was flipping through it, and I was flipping through Dead Orbit, and I got to the scene where the chest bursted, and oh, damn.
It's very
Such an
detailed.
interesting book.
So
Yeah.
good.
I
And the
love his
fact that
art.
it came out of that burned body, like
Yeah.
horrifying on top of
It's
horrifying.
different. We've never seen that kind
Yeah.
of
And
it's-
like the people were, it was like, oh, what a great and clever and interesting way to get around them waking them up and being like, no, don't do that. Like just horrific on top of horrific.
Yeah.
On top
Yeah.
of bad idea on top of bad idea. Oh,
It was such a really it's exactly that. You're layering like a horrific image of these burned victims who may or may not be evil.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know what these people who or what these people are.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden convulsions and they're like, what's going on? I thought they were sedated. They should be.
And then you get the thump, 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 like as the chest burst
yeah,
is
and
bursting
you
out.
know as the audience you know what's happening, but
Yeah.
they
much
don't.
pain they're in.
Yeah.
And just I like the you get any information out of them, and the doctor's like, 2 of them don't have lips. Can you just let me? Can you chill for? a
You
sec?
brought them here. I have to deal with them.
And
Yeah.
the captain's like, oh, right.
And then he gets murdered.
Sorry, yeah, he kind of leaves.
Oh,
Like,
well.
Yeah. So that's our recommendation.